good, y'all? It's your guy Bendu. So I came across this tweet on Twitter. Originally, I saw it on Brianna Joy Gray's timeline, or not her timeline, but on my timeline, I guess. But I saw her tweet pop up, and I found this very interesting. So this is from the New York Times opinion, and basically they tweet this out. We asked people from around the world to compare their healthcare system with the American system. Skin to skin after a C-section is $39, says a woman in Japan, reading from a U.S. medical bill. You need to pay money to hold a baby. So you guys have seen videos like this, all the time. Like, we've definitely seen this shit before. But the crazy part is, like, the New York Times is fucking late as usual. But it's not even just that they're late. They were one of the people contributing to shitting on the candidate who was pushing for true universal health care. Not like Medicare for all, akin to, Canada and France, Japan, whatever, But shitting on the candidate who was pushing for that. So not this, the Democratic Party's version of universal healthcare, which is like this Cobra bullshit where it's like, oh, everybody can have healthcare if everybody has money. But if we craft the economy where everybody does, where a lot of people don't have enough money to pay for healthcare, well, I don't know what to say about that. Those dastardly Republicans. And it's like, no, it's you. Your fucking candidate. The president, Joe Biden, now vowed during the campaign trail to veto Medicare for all, even if it made it to his desk. A 70% popular policy in the country. 70% of the country wants this thing, and Joe Biden vowed to veto it. And on top of that, he's not even pushing for the public option. Nobody's talking about the public option anymore, and the progressives aren't even pushing them towards the public, at least the public option. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this video rock out for y'all. Then I'm gonna come back and scroll through the comments, because I thought the comments just perfectly encapsulated everything. But here's the video.
If healthcare is a constitutional right, then
that's a form of communism, because no country could afford those payments without seizing the assets of everybody else.
What? Welcome to Finland!
Oh!
Dudes, what's going on? Oh my god!
It's making me so mad.
I mean, come on, guys. It's not that hard. Look around the world. Everyone else seems to have figured it out, right? Imagine you're in America. Which of these options would be best for you?
That's a lot to think about.
What is it? An OOP max?
I guess with what I got here, I would go with Plan D because the deductible is 0.
Okay, there's more.
Gold, HMO, PPO, HMO.
And what are copays? I don't get... That's like if you pay for Spotify Premium and Spotify still makes you pay every time you listen to a song.
It's too complicated.
I'm lost. I'm so lost.
In Canada, I don't have to really think about the different plans that I could pick from.
You just pay one amount per month, and all the major treatments are covered.
At least 70% of our medical expenses are always covered.
Uninsured, unable to afford treatment for a tooth infection that keeps flaring up. Cook Emma Rittner lost her job in March.
I did manage to get antibiotics from a friend whose mom regularly goes down to Mexico, and I've been taking that, self-medicating, based off of Dr. Google's advice.
Dr. Google's advice.
Here in Japan, even if you lose a job, you would never lose your health insurance.
When you lose your job, that's when society should help you.
I've chosen a creative job and had the backing of a healthcare system. But if you don't have that, do you pick the safe job or do you pick the creative job?
The average price per unit for insulin in 2018.
Germany, $11.
Canada's $12. Wow. It's like 8 times the price of insulin in Canada. I guess that explains why Americans come up to Canada to buy medication.
I'm sorry, hold on. So the FDA doesn't have any authority over the prices?
We have also privatized health insurance companies in Germany, but the prices are regulated by the government.
The government negotiates the prices and fixes that price for 2 years.
In Singapore, they regulate this stuff to keep the prices down and, avoid like this happening.
Right, so I'm looking at an American medical bill.
Why is it so expensive?
$428,000 for rooms and such empty spaces. What?
Much cheaper to go Hilton Hotel than this one.
Skin to skin after a C-section is $39.
I had to pay $39.35 to hold my baby after he was born. You need to pay money to hold a baby?
My brother Jamie, who's in a lot of our videos, was pretty badly injured. He's going to lose a couple fingers. If you can give $1 or if you can give $5, every little bit will help him and his family.
That's heartbreaking.
GoFundMe should not be something that people have to resort to pay for their medical bills.
So in America, people spend more than twice as much as in Japan for healthcare.
If I paid twice the amount for a car, I would want the car to be twice as good.
So what's the life expectancy in the US?
Why is it less?
The US should be on top of both of those lists. Like, if you're charging your citizens that much money, then they better be living the longest lives. It doesn't make sense.
When Alec turned 26, he was no longer allowed on his mother's insurance plan. Instead, he decided to pay for his insulin over the counter at list price. But the pharmacist told him a month's supply would be $1,300. He left empty-handed. Alec's official cause of death was diabetic ketoacidosis.
A couple of years ago, I developed a heart condition, and I had to have my heart restarted 3 times. After the 3rd time I had it restarted, the doctor suggested I get heart surgery.
When I was 13, I started to get sick and really, really sick. I was then very quickly admitted into hospital, where after 3 weeks I had treatment for a brain virus.
The cost of the operation, I think, is about $60,000. And then the next day, when I left the hospital and I got my bill, it was a bill for parking. It was about $30.
I was treated by royal doctors, had several MRIs, lumbar punctures, all for free.
So I was pretty happy that I lived in Canada and had universal health care.
I couldn't have survived if I was in America.
To know that I can get sick, I can get injured, but I will still be taken care of. That is freedom. This is not freedom.
So, like I said, y'all seen videos like this. We've seen these before. Like, I first saw this video on Kyle Kalinski's channel when he had covered it on there and everything. And, like, it just fucking made sense. It was one of the things that made me give up on this whole notion of, oh, fuck socialized healthcare, blah. I used to be one of those people because, like, I believed what the media said and what a lot of my conservative friends and conservative people said. So, but let's go ahead and get into these comments because this shit was perfect. So this is from In Our Words, and it says, look at the New York Times fighting to stay relevant while you've been lying about universal health care for decades. You disgust me per usual. Yes, they do as usual. Remember when we had the perfect candidate who had Medicare for all on their agenda, but your trash newspaper smeared him at every opportunity? Fuck yo. That's absolutely right. That was I am a Huey P. Newton socialist in the duopoly. This is from He's a Goo Boy. Look into why so many people get diagnosed with cancer at 65 years old. It's because our system is so terrible that people are scared of going bankrupt from receiving treatment until they are on Medicare. This is from KO. The exact thing happened to our loved one. Put off all testing until after Medicare coverage and went off insurance due to money. Those 2 years likely cost him his life. Died of stage 4 colon cancer 9 months after diagnosis at 65. He had just turned 66 a few months before. This is from Biden 1 Proof. wrong. We're not a wealthy country, though. We have a small number of extremely rich people and an ever-increasing number of lower middle-class people. Not the same as being a wealthy country. Yeah, sure, you can make that argument, but that's like in terms of how much like GDP, like what they use to measure a country's wealth, we are by far at the top of the food chain, if not China, you know, if you were to skew for like inflation and things like that, yada yada. Because there are some studies out there that says China actually already is the number one economy, but whatever. But for the sake of this argument, the United States is number one. The fact that literally you can have good quality healthcare here if you're fucking rich. That's the whole point that people are making. So your name just lets me know what you are, a bullshitter ass shit lib who will never fucking challenge the establishment as long as it's a fucking Democrat. This is from Tom, Saskatchewan. He says, anyone who defends an indefensible system is sociopathic. Let's see. This is from, all right, let's go to the next one. This is from Kevin White, Canadian here. My wife gave birth to our son 10 weeks ago. Here are our costs: $50 parking, $99 room upgrade, $20 for my food, my wife's food included, 3 meals per day she could choose from, and my son's formula was included. That's it. This is from Raquel Foxy. A coworker got his finger almost cut off using a handheld auger. His wife called an ambulance. The bill for a 20-minute ride to the hospital that could save his finger, though 5 minutes away, is useless. $10,000. Wonder how much X-rays and stitches are going to cost. This is from Ronnie Rondo, Bon. I think that's how you say it. It's funny that y'all are publishing this now after the election and installment of a person completely backed by Big Pharma plus big insurance fees. Dude. I don't know how to say that. Y'all see his name. The only freedom Americans seem to appreciate is market freedom, where they can charge $90 for an insulin shot. Here in Mexico, we have a DAB health system, but not as bad as this. No wonder there are medical tourists coming here, especially for dental work. Jeez. I can relate to that because I need to get my I need wisdom teeth removed, top, bottom, on both sides, and I have a filling that needs to be refilled, and I don't have the money to do it. So I just literally been suffering through the pain. I stopped. Literally, there was a point where I was like popping aspirin and painkillers like every fucking day, but I wanted to stop that because that's like popping those pills. They're not fucking good for you at all. So I basically just been suffering through the pain until I get the money to get it done. Good old America. This is from Lunatic Fringe. Too bad you browbeat and propagandized against the only person with a chance of really pushing for it. Turns out your electability arguments are shit. Kamala got 0 delegates and Biden is half alive on good days. And the squad is basically worthless. No clue how to fight. This is from JC Young. My youngest child arrived early as their mother was about to climb into a hospital bed. No one was watching and I had to literally catch our baby before he slipped to the floor. We went home the next day and the hospital charged Anthem $18,000 for it. That is fucking insane, and it just goes on. It goes on. So I wanted to cover that real quick because I found it interesting, like the fact that like you still have like conservatives complain about the fucking healthcare system, but you know when they're not empowered. So, and they complain about it when they're in power, but they basically say, oh, Obamacare is horrible, da da da. But then they literally offer, the Trump care plan, which was infinitely worse. I think Paul Ryan was the one that was fucking pushing that with Trump. But man, like the fact, like, and again, like other countries have figured this out, and that's not to make these other countries out to be fucking utopias. Like, neoliberalism is a worldwide fucking problem. And neoliberalism, don't take that to my conservative folks out there. Neoliberalism is basically Democrats, the supposed left party in the United States, aligning themselves with the fucking conservative party. So that's where I feel like a lot of conservatives, they like to say neoliberals, da 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 da, this and that, when they don't realize what neoliberalism is: the alignment of the so-called quote unquote left party with the conservative, right-leaning, free market and anarcho-capitalist party. That is what neoliberalism is. So I wanted to make that distinction, because I hear a lot of conservatives, throw that term around, but like aren't using it in the right way. So but yeah, so I want to go ahead and close the video out there. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm back. Maybe I was like, nah, I'm back. It's just going, I'm not going to be posting as frequently, guys, because I have a lot going on in terms of figuring out job situation, and it's just, I have a lot going on. But me and Alfred are actually going to be posting today as well, our stock talk show, and I'm definitely going to post something on Friday. It's not going to be no fan comments, because I haven't been posting like that. But I will try to do a live stream Saturday at around noon Eastern Standard Time. I think that's like, I believe that's 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and any other where in the world, I don't know. You got to figure. If you're listening to me from Japan, I don't know, bro. If you see it pop up, just tune in. So, but yeah, so yeah, just look out for that this Saturday. And yeah, that's pretty much all the announcements. As always, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, make sure you're sharing. After the whole YouTube shit, which I'm going to cover about them suppressing independent media, basically, it kind of makes sense why my channel isn't growing. I'm not saying I'm supposed to have like 50,000 subscribers, but I should have at least gotten to like 1,500 by now, with how you guys engage with the channel and share it, and how I see, new people popping up in the comments when I was posting like that. So it makes, like, YouTube coming out saying that, it makes perfect sense why. And we know what it is when you're not capping, like the rest of these media figureheads and shit like that. So, but yeah, so if you're on YouTube, definitely please share it, because it, accumulates more subscribers for me and everything. If you're on Odyssey, as always, hit that flame emoji and share it as well. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace.